Okay, so I'm going to start here. A bit of a new series, or because everyone makes mistakes, and I think it's really important that not only do you learn from your mistakes, but you can help others that run into the same issue. Now, obviously, what I've got behind me isn't anything rare. She is awesome, very reliable. She's at a time bit of a bitch. Recently ran into an issue where she would not start. There was a few different issues going on. I had just pulled out of a driveway, and then all of a sudden engine just died, right? 100% fuel, all of a sudden nothing's left, and then my overdrive light was on, overdrive off. I'll show you guys all that here in a minute. A mobilizer light was on, a few other little tidbits and stuff that were just behaving erratically all of a sudden. Now, you might think maybe PCM failure, it's not communicating, and this is a possible cause. It's not to say that you can eliminate everything with this one solution, but it is something that you should look at. Now, this is a $5 fix, basically. Unfortunately, it was 2 a.m., so I couldn't just drive to my local O'Reilly's. But I'll show you guys that here in a minute. I'll show you guys some of the symptoms, and I'll just jump to the conclusion. So, some of you that are out there trying to fix it now, get to that. Long story short, your symptoms are mobilizer may or may not be on. You'll see the light blink, or not blink, but it'll be fully solid when you try and start it. It won't start at all. You'll hear it crank over and try, but nothing's coming in. You might see your overdrive light turned on, even though you can't turn it off. You might see zero fuel out of your system. And, there's some other tidbits. You might hear some whirring in the back, or your pump try, but nothing's coming in. So I'll show you guys that now, since we're simulating this. So if we take a look here, 96 Grand Cherokee with a 4-liter. Let's see here if I can do this correctly. My apologies, I'm also trying to hold a battery. Now, I do have a third-party system, so she's obviously unlocked. Don't mind the halo that's out. And if we come over here, you can see my mess of a car. If I put the key in, this is the right key. Let it start. First off, overdrive is on. We can't turn it off. Fuel, 0%. Your lights, it's on auto right now, keep in mind. But my lights do not turn on. So we'll turn on parking lights. Just like that. You can see there's zero fuel. Now, I'm going to try and start it. Nothing's coming up, right? Now, sometimes, for some reason it's not coming on now. Shut up. But your immobilizer light may illuminate up front. Now, you also may think, hey, maybe it's an immobilizer issue, and you should also double check that. A good way to do that is making sure that all your doors are locked. You can usually trigger it by using the stop right here, and then closing the doors. Now this, as you saw, lights turned off. This is triggered the stock alarm system, the one built in with the Cherokee. Now, you come down here. Also want to make sure. Turn. We've unlocked it. There we go. Now, unlock it. It's a good way to disarm your immobilizer, but because of the issue I'm about to show you here, that's not going to work. The immobilizer is technically still working to try and prevent your car from starting, and here is why. So, if we come back over here, make sure our system is unlocked, and we pop that hood, maybe. There we go. Now it is a bit hard to see here. Okay, now that we got our light on, we can see, obviously our battery is connected. We wouldn't have headlights without it. Coolant's a little low, about something we don't need to be concerned about right now. But everything checks out. Your pulleys are tight. Your belt looks good. That's hot still. Now, if we come over here, you want to check this out. This is your fuse box within the engine bay. Now this is for a 4-liter AMC i6, so if we take a look here, this won't tell you, but that center one at 20 amp, so from trans and then 15 to 20 amp right in that center, this is what's called your ASD relay. Now, take a look at it here. You'll obviously always want to check your relays and your fuses and make sure everything is up and good to go. But, we whip out our Gerber, take that fuse out, then you want to inspect it a little bit. I'm not sure if you can see it here. Now this one is a bit of a decoy because this one, as you'll see here, is already blown. You can see a black mark. You can kind of tilt it and see how it's disconnected too. But this is your main sign that something is wrong. So, using this ASD relay, go ahead and replace it. We have a new one here, maybe. Now, for those who also have fog lights equipped as well, or do not have it equipped, you'll most likely still have a relay attached for it, or not a relay, excuse me, a fuse, I can't speak, which will be this one right here, which would be to the right, facing the front end of the car. So there's that other 20 amp right there to the right, under, from down, you got trans, 15, 15, 20, 15, 20, 20. That last 20 will be your fog lights. Now, as you can also see here, we do not have them equipped. So, if we take a look, is this? No, this is not. I have our backup fuse right here. There we are. So, brand new, 20 amp fuse. You can see it's still intact, no burn marks. We can also see here, amperage of 20 before it blows. If we stick that right back in the center, make sure it is secure in there. Then always make sure that cover is good and on there. We'll take this out so it doesn't get in the engine bay. Make sure your engine bay is clear, nothing's going to fall back into it. And also still make sure that your battery terminals are tight, because this is a sign to that something could be wrong. Could be not enough juice to the battery, it could be a bad battery connection. Always a good thing to check before you splurge money on parts. Now, if we come back here, make sure our system is unlocked. Make sure the stock system is also still unlocked. Always a good double check to do. Open the door. It doesn't hit us in the face. Come back here. And see, one, to put this in, our overdrive light is off. We have fuel in the system. And as we start it, she starts right up. We'll let her run for a few seconds, make sure everything's good. Oh. And there we go. So, as you can see, she's all good to go and ready to rumble. So, like I said, it's a pretty straightforward fix. If you're always stuck on if you are stuck on the road, you don't have anywhere to go, you don't have any backup, or maybe it's the middle of the night and you need to get somewhere in the morning, take out your fog relay and try and use that. Now, if you don't have fog lights, I highly recommend that first. See if there's another spare fuse. There are also 20 amp fuses within the passenger fuse box relay area there as well that you can use. Obviously, you don't want to use something critical. So, say you take out, your fuse for your headlights. Well, now you don't have any headlights to use. You can also take out your cabin lights or the lights to your dashboard, so you can't drive at night. It can be used as a temporary fix, but you should always replace all your fuses right back to where they go. I do have a backup for my fog lights, even though I don't have them equipped in. It is good to keep that in there, kind of as a spare or as a backup in case. But yeah, it's a straightforward fix. Just make sure your ASD is good, your automatic shutdown system. Definitely want to research too. Make sure that obviously no other issues are coming up. The fuse could just be old, but it also could be the result of something bigger. It could be some sort of computer system failure as well. But always double check, make sure the fuse is good. If it pops again, go down the line, make sure that your computer is good, your engine computer, your PCM, all your other modules down the line are good. Your fuel pump is also good, because that can also result in some issues too. If obviously your fuel pump is shorting out, it's going to cause problems, it's going to pop fuses, things like that. Double check, make sure that you checked everything first, nothing's popped, nothing is obviously shorting out, touching something that it shouldn't be, and I bet you it'll probably be on the road within a few minutes. So, want to make this for anyone who is, experiencing this issue. I know it's just something small, but it's always good to share knowledge that is actually helpful and genuine. So, cheers, see you later.